Today, I'm going to focus on what a reader needs in order to know or to read a text. So, the text that I'm about to focus, I took from the book Imagine that I teach in my ninth graders. I teach the higher level students, and the unit focuses on different types of inventions over the years. So I'm going to deal with 7 aspects that a reader has to have in order to read and understand a specific text. So this is my text. If you can see everything, I will focus on different aspects one at a time. So the first aspect is basically phonology. So phonology is basically the relationship between the letters in a word and the sound they represent. It helps the speakers to know how to pronounce words correctly. So in my text, for example, the reader should know how to read simple words as not, ought, in order to understand the word, and also words like tiny. He needs to understand that that the letter I represent as a long vowel, tiny. Okay, the next aspect is morphology. Morphology is basically the orthographic structure of words. Recognizing morphological components helps in understanding the meaning and grammatical function of words. So if we look at my text, I have words, for example, like buttons. So the reader should know that the word buttons is out of the word button plus the letter S, which represent the plural. And also, for example, if we have the word richer, so the reader should know that the word richer is a combination of the words rich adding which makes it larger, make it bigger. Another thing is, for example, unusual. Unusual is combined from the word un and usual. Un is a prefix indicating negation or reversal, meaning not, or the opposite of. And usual is basically the root of the base word. The next thing is syntax. Syntax deals with the rules of the structure of sentences in a language. It focuses on how words are organized and combined to meaningful phrases and sentences. So, for example, if we have in this sentence, we have people used belts and pins to fasten their clothing, not buttons. So we see that so the reader has to understand the syntax of the sentence and the pattern of the the pattern of a sentence, which is the CVO, the subject, verb, object, and and the rest of the sentence basically. And he needs to understand how the sentence is built in order to understand it better. The next thing is vocabulary. Vocabulary is basically, I think, is the most, not only me think, but it is the most important aspect when you read text. So when a reader is able to read a word and know the meaning, it allows him to understand the context and have a deeper meaning of the text. The reader is able to understand the author's intended meaning, infer implicit information, and make connections between concepts and in the text. So for example, in my text, the reader should know the meaning of the word trivial in order to understand the text, practical, um, buttons, of course, which that's what the text is all about. Understanding the meanings will, of course, help him to understand the text better. The next thing is the background knowledge. Background knowledge is very important in order to understand the ideas and concepts in the text. Readers should have relevant prior knowledge or experiences to make sense of the text content. So, for example, in my text, you can see that they talk about crusaders. They need to understand what it means, what period it belongs to. And we also have here the 1520s about King Francis and France, King Henry. All this time they need to understand and be familiar with the American Civil War. My students, when we talked about it, they said, "Oh, we also learn it in a different class." So they will what they were able to make the connections between the Milchemet HaEzrachim. So it was easier for them. It's easier to understand a text when you have the background knowledge. Next aspect is the genre. It's important for understanding the context. A reader should identify the type of a text he reads, whether it's a poem, it's a web page, an informative text like we have here. By understanding the type of the text and the genre is the reader is able to select suitable reading strategies such as skimming for keywords, looking for years, name, and dates. So when we know when you understand how to look for it, then he's able to understand the text better. Um, the next thing is oh, I have it also. Oh, so for example, he looks for the years, like we have here, and yeah, that's the years what he should be looking for. The next thing is inferencing. The inferencing is basically the HOTS, what we always talk about when we want to challenge our students' thinking. So it's the high order thinking skills, and it refers to the deeper understanding of a text. It is necessary for text-based comprehension like this, when readers draw logical conclusions and they make inferences based on the information provided in the text. And also for situation-based comprehensions, when reader needs to understand the social, cultural, and situational context surrounding the text to fully comprehend its meaning. So for example, I have here like questions when I ask my students. Question number 3, we can infer from lines 48 to 50 that buttons in the 1800s were still used to impress people, B, were expensive, or C, were not a status symbol anymore. So my students, in order to understand, they need to have a better understanding, a better meaning of the text. And I, by accident, click already. So thanks for watching. Hopefully it wasn't too long. And have a nice day, everyone.